What's going on, everybody? We're talking TNA, Impact Wrestling, for the 16th of January, and this is like the second show in Destination America, so it's a big deal. It's a big deal. All I gotta say is Ryan's back, is for one, and what you gonna do, brother, when the Beatdown Clan runs wild on TNA? Because that's kind of what happened tonight. The it was weird. Like the Beatdown Clan just beat down everybody, and like I think the Beatdown Clan name at first I was like, no, stop. But then like the more I heard it, I guess I got used to it, and I was like, okay, it's getting better the more I hear it. Maybe Josh Matthews, the way he said it, was like what was getting me. I don't really know. Um, so the Beatdown Clan practically took over this show. Do you guys think the Beatdown Clan took over this show? Cause
Absolutely. Yeah, they came in and they roughed everyone up and stole like every title. So yeah, they totally just took over TNA. Big time.
Casey, how do you feel about that?
First of all, TNA has this weird thing where they have obsessions with like street gangs. Apparently, I mean, it started off with Aces and Eights, which was a gang basically, and now they have the BDC, which is basically a gang. Like I don't, but I'm waiting for the BDC and the Revolution to face off because they don't have the tag team titles, you know.
And they won't get them because pledge to the revolution, because they obviously are not gonna get the tag titles.
Are we also waiting for that Bobby Lashley face turn? Because that's gonna happen. Bobby Lashley face turn. Big time.
Oh, it's coming! It's coming!
Yeah, definitely. I'd say it's
Especially
coming.
after this episode.
All right, so we started off with a
For
video
that.
package, basically reviewing what went down last week. Um, it was a nice video package to let the people who didn't watch last week kind of know what went down last week, who didn't watch last week. I'm just saying.
I think there was somebody around here that didn't watch, or and hasn't been on the show for a while. I don't.
Yeah, think he covering his face because
It was one guy. Yeah, he was supposed to be gone for a week, and then it was like a month.
it starts with an R or something. Ryan.
Right, Ryan. Yeah, that's it.
Hi guys.
That's what it was.
Good to be back. Also, I'm pissed. I missed the greatest episode of all time. Apparently, hearing what he told me about it, I was really upset.
Which
that I
which
missed
one
it.
was that?
The one with the big, big roster-wide brawl at the beginning and whatever went down last week that I
Yeah.
missed.
Yeah, I showed him the brawl to before we even watched it because he wanted to see it. So he was like, his first note was, "I missed the best episode ever." But you got any thoughts on the video package?
I like how it was edited. I mean, if this is how they're gonna do video packages, now that they're on Destination America, I'll get into them more. Because I feel like when they had them on before, they were just boring and it was like it didn't interest me. But just the way they edited this one, it was with the music and everything, it kind of made it feel more, you know, entertaining, like you cared about it.
Do you have any thoughts on the video package?
Not the video package itself. I do like what you're saying about the editing, just the editing in general for the new channel, like how they'll do the dual screen thing with Taz and friends in the back room, and they've got two different perspectives going on at the same time. I like what they're doing with the show, and that they changed it up a lot after moving from Spike.
All right, so um, we get like a Roode interview type of thing where Roode's really intense. He is, and he's really good at being intense. He was really intense in this, and basically, I didn't write down everything. I didn't write down anything. I just wrote that it set up the EY versus Bobby Roode match to come later in the show. Did you have the actual promo for this? Because I didn't write it down.
He basically says, he doesn't know why Eric Young did what he did, but he will get to the bottom of it. And then we figure out a little bit more later on from Eric Young himself, but it kind of builds that feud now.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the Roode early on interview type of thing? It's kind of a promo more than anything.
Yeah, it was good for me because I had missed whatever happened to him, but really sympathetic for Bobby Roode. I felt bad. Poor guy, his friend took his title, hit him with a chair. That's always mean, when your friend takes away your title, DJ. Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it. It was the moaning stranger. Anyway, we got the family coming out to cut a promo. There's a lot of notes on this because there's a lot of talking here, so I had to kind of write down as much as I could write. MVP starts out by singing reggae.
Oh, you can't keep a boy down.
Yeah, he started out by singing some reggae. So I mean, at least he's not tone deaf and whatnot. He can hit it every once in a while. He can hit the notes. The notes. New music that they came out to, which kind of happens a lot of the time. Um, you know, it happens a lot with new factions, especially. Um, he says I gotta surround myself with like-minded people. These are the same guys that were driving 500 miles for a hot dog and a handshake. The He calls them the BDC or the Beatdown Clan. He says EY is not a member of the family or the clan. EY comes out with his new music and the worst haircut I have seen EY ever have. It was pretty bad. I don't think you can have a mohawk with that hairline. You just can't. It just doesn't work.
So bad.
It was pretty bad. EY comes out and he's letting us know what's going down. He's letting us know why because all of us want to know why EY. EY has been the big face of the company, kind of, especially good guy wise. So why'd he do it? And he's like, your opinion doesn't matter. The truth is a funny thing. The truth is, me and this man couldn't be in the same ring together a month ago. Talking about MVP, obviously. He said, I don't like it, but I respect it. I took care of you, Bobby. I gave you a shot, but you didn't give me my shot. Basically, talking about when Eric Young was defending the title every single week, pretty much. During his run, he gave Bobby Roode a title, but during Bobby Roode's run, he didn't get his title shot, which doesn't make a lot of sense because if you think about it, Bobby Roode wasn't really on television when, because they were taking that month off to do the best of show. So Bobby Roode really wasn't, he wasn't on TV to give him a shot.
What a jerk!
I mean, unless we're talking about the hardcore title where they can just this TNA World Championship is the hardcore title where they can just defend it anywhere, right? During the Best of Impact special on the train going to New York. I don't know. But EY continues and he says, last year I was in the most main events in TNA. I don't know about that. I don't think that's true. But, give yourself a little credit. He says, maybe you were afraid I'd beat you again. I'm a world-class pro wrestler, champion, and friend. EY continues and he says, what did I get? I got a text message. I didn't get a call. I got a text that told me the truth. And this was when he was in the hospital, obviously.
He didn't have service. Okay, Bobby Roode didn't have service. He couldn't text. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
He did have service. He sent him a text. I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay.
All right, so he continues and he says, Roode, I took what you love the most, and tonight I'm going to take everything out. MVP calls out Lashley because he is the new, world champion, and he's, a part of the family, so we think. He calls out Lashley. They play Lashley's music. He doesn't come out. And then Angle ends up coming out, And Angle says, all I see in there are a bunch of thugs. EY, you're going to pay for your sins tonight. And Angle says, I can make every one of you tap. So Angle's about to just ankle lock everybody. He's going to take them all out with the ankle lock at the same time. Joe comes out there and squares up to Angle, and Angle does not care. He pulls out his best Floyd Mayweather impression and knocks that man out that one punch. I, I'm thinking we may see another Angle Joe feud. We've seen it before, but obviously these are two of the greatest wrestlers of their generation, I think you could say, or at least workers. So I wouldn't hate to see it again. I don't know how it would go in their older age, more Angle than Joe, but it'll be interesting. I don't know what they're gonna do with Angle, being that he's back on the main roster or back, wrestling again. Um, Ryan, you got any thoughts about the family promo? It was a lot to sink in.
Yeah, I got a few things. One of them was I love the crowd. I love the crowd in this at this show. Was this where they were screaming "Shut the beep up" like while they were trying to talk. You just kept hearing the censor pop in every now and then as they were screaming. Eli comes out. I was very upset because of his awful haircut and his new music. I really liked EY's entrance. It was like pumped up, got me happy, and now it makes me sad. Also, EY got the crazy eyes, and Deej and I were talking about this. We think that the best way to make EY turn heel like this is to just make him batshit crazy, and it looks like it's working because he's kind of crazy. I got Kurt Angle having words with the family. At some point, MVP said, "You ain't about that life," which made me chuckle a little bit. and then Kurt Angle said he can make them all tap, and then he goes in for the match. And I'm like, you better not lose after all that talk you just laid down.
All right. The reason we're doing it like this because he's right here. It's a lot easier for me to just go straight to him. So that's why we're switching it up a little bit. Casey, I just didn't want you to be confused on what was going on.
No, it's cool. I'm just not cool enough,
No, that's not it. We just can't all come to Pennsylvania for you.
I've been here.
I mean, we can have a round table podcast, but at this point, we got the man in the room. You're over there.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
I've been with the show the whole time. I didn't leave. I didn't. But anyway.
All right, Casey, you got any thoughts on? I guess this is a staple of of mainstream wrestling now. Just to let's have this opening segment long freaking promo. I thought it was a little longer than it should have been, but I mean, any thoughts?
A lot of this was like, wait, what? Because first of all, MVP's like, you think you get rid of me, and then out of nowhere I'm back in the driver's seat, and I was like, this reminds me of something. What does that remind me? Oh, the Authority. Yes, exact same thing as the Authority. And then when MVP was like, EY is not a part of the BDC, I was like, wait, he's literally done everything with the BDC. How is he not a member of the BDC? And he did everything tonight.
Isn't he the main reason Lashley's got the title? Let's be honest. Yeah. He is the reason.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't make sense. He was in every segment they were in tonight, or the other night. It doesn't make sense. And I like how Angle's only comeback ever is, I can make you tap. Like, that's his big threat. I can make you tap. Okay? Sure. But yeah, it was just a really long opening segment, and I don't know.
I mean, I like it better when I start out with a match because it makes me feel like, oh, I'm watching a wrestling show, not a sports entertainment, feature event or something. I like it better when they start off with a match, and for one, it's kind of different in mainstream wrestling when you start off with a match because it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is different, and TNA is talking about being the WWE alternative. So why not, go ahead and start with an opening match and then explain.
Last week they did have a roster-wide brawl at the beginning of the match, that was in the crowd, people taking selfies with people getting the shit beat out of them. It was pretty intense.
That is true. So technically, we started with roster wide extreme battle royal last week. Um, but
punch him in the face. Selfie.
so basically, we got to start out with Angle versus Joe. That's what the squaring up and everything got to. We got to Angle versus Joe. So at least the opening promos are getting to matches immediately afterwards. That's what I like about it. It was weird that it started during the break. But I think the announcers kind of sold it well. Like, it was so out of control that it had to start during the break. I feel like they kind of sold it a little, they sold it well as far as starting that way. Joe starts out working the leg. Obviously, he's been in close comfort with EC3, so he's going to lock in the leg lock maybe. But no, Joe starts to work the leg. He locks in what looks like an inverted figure four, as the fans woo. I was telling Ryan, you can never, as a heel, never lock in the figure four because your heel status is gone because everyone loves Ric Flair so much. We get the split screen, which I kind of like because it's different. We get the split screen, and they're looking for Bobby. I thought they were looking for Lashley. From what I'm hearing, they're looking for Roode. So I don't know, because it would make sense that they were looking for Lashley, right? Because he was the one that didn't come out. So, but they called him Bobby, which was weird too, because they don't call Bobby Lashley Bobby anymore. They call him just Lashley. So I don't know if you understood who they were looking for there, because I was a little confused.
I have no idea. Not a clue.
Because it was weird, because like Lashley was the one that didn't show up, but they were, calling him Bobby, and I'm like, wait a minute, his name's not Bobby anymore. I'm confused. Wait, what's going on? I don't know. But Angle starts to take control with the trifecta of the German suplexes, as he always does. It was a nice transition from the rear naked choke to the ankle lock by Kurt Angle. Angle slam on Joe for a near fall as Angle sells the knee. Angle rolls through the muscle buster to lock in a nice ankle lock. Very good transitional chain wrestling here, especially with submissions. I think these guys do a really good job of transitioning from one submission move or one hold to another. Angle not letting go of the ankle lock. He's always got a strong grip when it comes to the ankle lock. Joe knocks Angle into the ref, and then he hits a low blow. He locks in the rear naked choke as Angle taps. And the BDC come back in, and they beat down Angle. But Roode, obviously, he's got to come out there to save the day. So Roode comes out there as the cavalry in this match. So I don't really... I don't understand why they made Angle tap. Usually in these situations, you see a low blow and then like a roll up or something. It was kind of weird to see Angle tap, especially like in his second match back. It didn't make him look weak because he just got hit with a low blow, so he's probably just tapping out of pain, you would think, crotch pain or something. So I don't really know. But what'd you think of Angle versus Joe to start the show?
Yeah, I liked the German suplexes. I wrote German suplex for days. That was fun. Yeah, I thought that it was pretty even match. They had each other coming back and forth. It was good. And then when Joe hit the crotch shot, I was like, damn. Like, now he's not gonna win, and all that talk was for nothing, like I said earlier. So then he hits the crotch shot and the dirty pin, and then he pins him, or he makes him tap, and then BDC comes out and does their thing. EY with them, by the way, even though he's not a member. But the fair part about this is that after they're in there beating up Kurt Angle, Bobby Roode comes out with a chair and like scares them all away, and then just sits down in the chair in the middle of the ring. I like that part.
All right, Casey. What were your thoughts on the first match of the night?
I didn't like that it started during the commercial break. I don't like when they do that with matches because you don't really get to see what happened. they show you little bits and pieces, but I don't know. I just personally don't like it. But I like this match. There is a lot of history in this match between these two. They've had, really good feuds in the past. They really know each other. So they could, if they're gonna do a feud angle or a Joe Angle feud, it'll work out pretty well if they do it right. But I did like that Joe paid pretty good attention to Kurt's knee. It's obviously been injured in the past. He knows to go for that. Um, and they both know they're really good submissions experts. They know how to, like you said, transition from different submissions. They know how to reverse submissions. So it's always a good match when these two go at it. And like you said, not sure about Kurt Angle's age, because you can kind of just tell the way he walks. His knees are kind of getting bad with his age.
And doesn't it scare you that he may get hurt? Like, just because, like, yeah, it feels like EC3, like, I know he didn't mean to, and obviously he gets to brag about it because he's a big heel or whatever, but, like, he still hurt Angle's knee, and, like, it was, like, a couple of matches into him just coming back. So, like, it kind of scares you a little bit, like,
Well, I mean, it was the same with Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin had a really bad knee injury. He was back for a couple weeks and it hurt it again. So I just don't want to see something like that happen with Angle.
yeah, I don't even think, yeah, and it's like, I don't feel like Saban was ever the same after that either. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like it.
No, it wasn't the same. But yeah,
All
good.
right, so yeah, it was good. Good way to start the show. Or good first match, I'd say. Roode sitting down in the chair, as Ryan alluded to, and get a promo. Obviously, we're gonna get a promo. He's one of the main guys right now. We get "You got screwed" chance. He says, "Damn right, I got screwed." And he was very intense about it. So Roode's good at that. And like I said, Roode knows how to be intense when he needs to be intense. It's kind of, I've heard people say this. It's kind of like Triple H. Triple H knows how to be intense when it's time to get intense. And I think that's kind of that it factor that Bobby Roode has. He is the it factor of professional wrestling. So he's like, you talk a bunch of bull, talking about the BDC obviously, and EY together but not together. He said, "I've been here for a long time and I love professional wrestling." He says, tonight is not about wrestling. Tonight is about payback. He said, "I'm going to make you pay for what you've done." He's obviously talking to EY because EY, screwed him out of his what he loves the most. All right, Casey, we're going to switch spots because I feel more comfortable holding this in my left hand. So we're going to switch spots, and then I'm going to let you go ahead and give your portion.
Whoa, that was amazing, you guys. But for this segment, I didn't really write anything down for it, but you're right. Bobby Roode does know kind of how to be intense when he needs to, and how to really get the fans into the show. I don't think he's quite as good as like a Triple H, and he doesn't know how to control the crowd like as well as like The Rock or whatever, but he is, for TNA, he's one of the best that he can get the fans on his side as a face, or he can get fans to despise him as a heel, which a lot of times is harder than some people think it is.
He's really respected by the fans, I'd say. Like
Yeah.
he has that respect. So like you notice, like when he taps on the top turnbuckle for them to start clapping, they'll start clapping. Not everybody can do that.
Yeah, exactly. So, Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that.
All right, Ryan. What were your thoughts on the Bobby Roode promo?
Yeah, you guys were talking. You guys talking about how he's the it factor and he can work the crowd really well, and I agree because I am not was not a huge fan of Bobby Roode as a wrestler. You know, I mean he's good, but as a wrestler, I'm not a huge fan of him compared to anyone else on the TNA roster. But you're right, when he does work the mic, he's really good because I love him when he talks. Whether he's a heel or a face or whatever he's talking about, I like hearing him talk because he can work the mic and work the crowd pretty well, especially on a show like TNA where a lot of them can't. The Wolves, yeah, but I liked this promo because he went out there and used the chair and then sat in it. That too.
All right.
Not
So
everybody's good on the mic, okay? We know the Wolves suck on the mic. You don't have to rub it in.
I'll say one good thing about the Wolves. Davey Richards has the best freeze frame sell in professional wrestling.
all right. Casey, I know you have Destination America. I don't right now, so I'm just trying to watch TNA any way I can. Did, have you watched this TNA Unlocked thing? Because I know they showed like a little clip of it with the Magnus interview. So I wanted to know if you had it and what was it like, or if you watched
I
it, what was it like?
recorded it and I started watching it, but it was basically just the same thing. Like I didn't see anything different. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was the same opening segment. It was the same opening match. It was like I didn't see anything different. But they do also have, like I told you, the best of like that best of Jeff Hardy matches, best of Kurt Angle. So Destination America is definitely giving them more time, more space to do shows and stuff, which is cool. But I wasn't really impressed with the TNA Unlocked, at least for the first one.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has noticed, but Destination America has bought some TV time for commercials for TNA because I know I've heard that there was some on Raw. I know I saw one on ESPN, which was really cool because like I was watching ESPN. It's like you don't expect it because TNA's been the same way for the longest time. You don't expect for a commercial to just come up on ESPN, and I was like, oh, well, this is kind of cool. I get to see a TNA commercial
I think
outside of.
it's also because like I don't know what like company Spike owns Spike, but I think Destination America is owned by like National Geographic or something like that. One of those companies. So obviously they have more money to do stuff. I don't know as much about Spike. Um, Even their MMA stuff, you don't really see on other channels, which is surprising because MMA is so big right now.
You can only make so much money from cops reruns.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, I was really surprised when they didn't re-sign, just because I know TNA was bringing in a lot of viewers, if nothing else. So with this little clip, we got a Magnus interview. Um, he's like, Tanay says, "What's the change in attitude?" He says, "I do this because this is how I provide for my family." And he says, if this company wants to let me go, I'm a big time free agent, so he'd be a big commodity for free agents. I guess after the paper champion run, I don't I don't know how big of a free agent you are at that point.
World heavyweight champion speaking.
Yeah, so I don't really know.
not necessarily. I mean, Ring of Honor picked up Alberto Del Rio, and he was not doing anything in WWE. So
Yeah, but I mean, well, I think someone would pick him up. Don't get me wrong. He's still talented. I don't think he's being used very well, and plus he's getting overshadowed by Bram, which sucks too. Which I love Bram, but
yeah,
he kind of got buried under that run of his. It was kind of weird because like he said, "This is how I provide for my family." So you kind of think maybe he's gonna turn face sometime soon. I'm still kind of waiting for the Bram Magnus feud that we were supposed to get a long time ago, and we never got. But also he said if this company wants to let me go, which brings me to the Feast or Fire thing that they're doing next week. Um, does that mean he's getting fired? Is he telling us he's getting fired, or because you wouldn't think it would be Magnus that would get fired. You would think they maybe would fire maybe a veteran that had no use anymore. Magnus is still pretty young, and he's still got a ton of potential. Um, yeah, and you said Shark Boy. Like Shark Boy just got released, so they could have easily just thrown Shark Boy in there, give him the fire case, and let him walk.
See, I don't understand what the hell the point with bringing Shark Boy was, because they brought him back to just release him and not do anything with him. I was like, wait, what?
I don't know. It's a waste of money because they could have used that money on my girl Brittany. They could have used it on my girl Brittany, and we could still be seeing weird Samuel Shaw and Brittany.
Where is Samuel
stuff.
Shaw? He's a boy. I like him.
I don't know where Samuel Shaw is right now.
What we need to do is we need to find out whose contract's coming up, because that's usually who they is let go.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen anything about the contract stuff. But yeah, we could probably figure that out. I kind of want to next week see like out of who wins the match, whoever gets the cases, like who would most likely be fired out of those cases. I kind of want to do that next week on the review.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts on this?
Maybe he's just saying that he's just gonna be in the match. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to add other than that. He might just be alluding to the fact that he's gonna be in the Feast or Fire match, or that he lost already.
All right, Casey. Did you give your thoughts, or do you have any thoughts? Anything else?
I didn't have too many thoughts about this promo, but I'm excited for Feast or Fire next week. It's something that I feel like TNA doesn't really have anything special anymore that's just specifically them, and this is one of the only things that they have left. I mean, they don't really do Ultimate X matches that much anymore. They don't have anything else that's kind of really just them. So this is kind of something kind of cool. Even though it's another briefcase type match, because everyone has to have some sort of briefcase match. But
yeah, I would think so. I guess it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen with it more than anything. So next we got Spud and JB. They're backstage, and Spud talks about EC3. Said he's gone insane, and JB, JB says, well, one day EC3 will get exactly what's coming to him. So this is setting up the Spud EC3 thing, building on that, and building on a match we're going to get next week that I'm not going to mention yet because we haven't got there yet. Any thoughts on this short segment, Ryan?
I will save my thoughts until later.
Okay, he's going to save his thoughts. We did have a bald JB, though, so that was fun. Casey, any thoughts?
Next week's match is going to be pointless, and I'm just want to see what they're doing with this feud because it seems like it's going nowhere.
All right, so next we got what's probably match of the night.
Definitely.
I would say.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing.
This match was incredible. I mean, ridiculous. So, first off, we get the Revolution, and they're coming out and they're watching from the balcony, which was kind of cool. And they're watching with Mahabali Shera, who is now known as Koya. So that's a lot easier for you to say. Now you don't have to call him Jinder Mahal.
Well, I'm still going to call him Jinder Mahal.
That's more than his real name. Come on.
I don't care. I'm still calling him Jinder Mahal.
I like Mahabali Shera. That's a good name. All right, so we got the Hardys versus the Wolves, and from what they were saying, this is going to be a no more contenders match for the belts, basically. So
Hardys Wolves like 16 because we've had this match at least 15 times.
It's awesome every single time.
Well, it's like the thing about it is like if you're gonna run the same guys in like a feud like this, or like in a series of matches like this. I think if it changes every time, then it's a little bit better. Like, and we saw some new moves we hadn't seen in this match. I feel like, like I think they know how to keep it fresh at least because, like we've said, how many tag teams do they really have? I mean, the bromans are stuck with the beautiful people, so
Well, that's
they
because
can't
they
do
waste
anything.
money on Shark Boy.
I don't know. They're stuck on the Total Divas end of TNA right now with the beautiful people. So,
They,
that's
they could have kept Shark Boy and just put him in a tag team with Rockstar Spud.
No, don't do that to my boy, Casey. God, no.
I'm just mad because they haven't listened to my idea of selling his suits on the website.
Oh yeah, they need to do that. You're so right. I'll be Rockstar Spud for freaking Halloween.
all right. So we got this. What turned out to be a really good match. Speaking of the Revolution being in the background, I love how they had that camera that kind of showed the Revolution in the background, like early on in the match, but they didn't do it so where it was a main focus too. Yeah, it was like that. Um, I think that was kind of cool because a lot of times you don't see people sitting in balconies for one, especially like superstars. So it was kind of cool. Now that I think about it, it reminds me of the Dixie Carter thing when she got put to the table and she was sitting up there. But anyway, um, we got the Wolves, looking to cut off the ring early here. The Hardys do take control, and they take control of Davey. Then the Wolves come back. This was back and forth early on. The Wolves come back with dueling corner kicks to both of the Hardys. A drop toe hold elbow drop combination for the Wolves that ended in a near fall. The Hardys reversed the double foot stomp into the side effect. It was Matt Hardy that reversed that, obviously. Then I think it was Jeff Hardy who got the high tag. I wrote Hardy for some reason, like they both were named Hardy, but Jeff Hardy gets the high tag and he gets a near fall off the drop kick. Whisper in the Wind by Jeff Hardy on both of the Wolves. But then the Wolves try to go for their dueling suicide dive. But then that basically was a sequence of moves that ended up in Matt Hardy doing a handspring moonsault DDT off the apron, which was just ridiculous. And then Jeff Hardy decides, let me just test my boundaries, even more. Jeff Hardy does not do old school, but he does his best impression. He goes from one corner and balance beams himself all the way over to another corner and hits a splash, which was just ridiculous. Jeff Hardy goes for the swanton, but he gets reversed because Eddie Edwards, he basically lifts those knees because you're not gonna hit the swanton on him. I know I misspelled it. We get a super kick, set out powerbomb by the Wolves for a near fall. It was a nice little combination they did there. The twist of fate, freaking, they pulled out the Rock Stone Cold in this. They did the twist of fate by Eddie Edwards and freaking double foot stomp by Davey. Jeff Hardy swantons in to break up the pin. Of course, Jeff Hardy just doing whatever crazy stuff he can figure out to do. Davey gets back, suplexed outside of the ring, and obviously he didn't come back immediately because he was frozen outside of the ring. Twist of Fate Twist of Fate power slam combo by the Hardys for the win. That was a cool combo too. It was cool to see them not hit the extreme combination for the win, but hit the Twist of Fate power slam combination. That was cool. So Hardys Wolves, we've seen it a lot, but there were some moves we haven't seen before, which is always, cool to see. So, Ryan, thoughts on this?
Yeah. It was awesome. Always. Love Jeff Hardy. He's my boy. My one thing, the Wolves tattoos, I like them a lot. They look really good. But it pretty much quenches any chance I have of having a solo career. Because now they have these gigantic claw marks across their chest. It's just going to look weird whenever Davey Richards or Eddie Edwards rebrand themselves. Maybe, if that ever happens. The double DDT from Matt, I missed it because I looked down to write a note, and then everyone was like, ah! So we had to reverse and watch that again. And then the tightrope walk drop, which is what I named it, from Jeff, was awesome. I fully expected an extreme combination from the Wolves. When they dropped the Twist of Fate, I fully expected a swanton from whoever was up on the ropes at that point. That would have been epic. Yeah, I think that's about all I've got on that match. It was a good match. I liked it a lot, and they can. I would like to see them face other tag teams, but these two are my favorite two tag teams in TNA, and they're awesome every time they wrestle each other. So I'm fine with them having the same match over and over again.
It was interesting though. I don't know what I was about to say. So Casey, just go ahead and do your note, and I'll try to figure out whatever I was just about to say.
It was interesting. I love both of these teams. I do, but just TNA does need to get more tag teams. I mean, come on. We can only see the same tag teams together so many times. But when Jeff Hardy ran on the top rope and did that dive, we got an Undertaker reference. That's right. TNA is referencing WWE again, which was cool last week and cool this week when they did it.
So wait, I just want to know how many fans turned off TNA to go watch the network right after that.
They were like, let's go watch that. But yeah, we got that reference, which is kind of cool. I don't know. But a good match. You guys pretty much covered it all. So, yeah. Just more tag teams. I want more tag team wrestling because, like, TNA used to have the best tag team wrestling in wrestling, period. And it dropped off, like, 2010, 2011, and it hasn't been back to where it was.
I have an idea. Next week, we need to come back, all three of us, with 2 new tag teams with awesome names from the roster to pitch to TNA.
Yes.
We need to pitch them. So, 3 of us, next week, 2 tag teams.
All right, we'll do that. My thought was that I'm expecting the Hardys to get a tag team title run because they haven't had one, which is weird to think about. Like, they haven't had one in TNA at all, which is weird. You wouldn't think. Hardys.
I feel like they're one of the teams that doesn't need it, but I think they're going to give it to them anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to do anything for them. They might do more for the title than the titles would do for them, though.
Yeah, they probably, and especially if you can, like, and I don't think they're gonna do this, but hopefully, maybe they might. Maybe put another tag team in there, like a newer tag team, and maybe make them feud with them. So then that builds that tag team up a little bit too, even if they don't win. You know what I mean? Like Magnus, who's still not a tag team yet. They're just together. Don't know why. But that was match of the night, I'd say. Next we get a Bram promo, and Bram, he said something about taking all the cases, so I guess he wants to feast and get fired. He doesn't really care. King of Hardcore, he does whatever he wants. So he's gonna take all the cases, every one of them, him and his mate, Magnus. And
I don't
he
think
said,
they explained the match to him clearly enough.
What did you say?
And
yeah, he's taking a King of Hardcore. He's taking a few more chair shots than the rest of us.
Batista?
No. But anyway, he says, stay away, because we're feasting, not firing. So, they're going to feast, but they ain't going to get fired, basically.
Who's going to be in this match? So we know it's Bram and Magnus at this point. Who else?
The rest of it's a surprise, I guess. I don't know.
Just Bram and Magnus.
Just Bram and Magnus. That's it.
Right down. It's gonna be Bram, Magnus. It's gonna be crap. I had one. Shark Boy.
Shark Boy.
Shark Boy, and it's going to be
Brooke Tessmacher.
Dixie Carter.
Dixie Carter.
Bram, Magnus, Shark Boy, and Dixie Carter. That's our Feast or Fired match.
All right. So we got the match. It's set next
And
week. Tune
Dixie
in.
is gonna get the heavyweight championship briefcase.
Oh, all right. Yeah, she took that table spot. Now she gets the world title. Um, any thoughts on the Bram promo?
No.
All right. Casey, any thoughts on the Bram promo?
Well, he's gonna get feasted and fired, so hey.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready. All right. So next we get another backstage segment with, I guess we go from the king of hardcore to the king of backstage segments in MVP and Kenny King, right? Because they're always in backstage segments on TNA. So basically, they're looking for Lashley. You know, where's he at, bro? He wasn't here. What's going on? You know, MVP says we're good, bro. We got the belt in our hands, basically. EY was in the background, kinda. He was there, and he said something, and all I remember is Kenny King saying he's a couple hugs short of a happy childhood. That dude Kenny King is gold, bro. They need to go ahead and just book that. That man is gold. He just needs to talk every week, just a little bit.
Can I even express how much I love Kenny King?
He doesn't.
Dude doesn't wrestle ever, but I love him.
He doesn't even need to wrestle. He just needs to be like somebody's manager. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Any thoughts on this backstage segment, Ryan? I think you got your couple.
I said, yeah, I wrote down EY lost his shit. That's about it.
All right. Casey, any thoughts?
I feel like the new thing in wrestling is to turn somebody heel is just make them batshit crazy. Like that's all you do. Just make them fucking crazy. And the comment.
But doesn't that work with EY though? Because he's just crazy enough. So if he's just insane crazy,
Yeah.
Oh, I got one. I got a tag team. It's gonna be EY and Samuel Shaw, and they're gonna be the Crazy Bastards.
All right, Casey. What were the rest of your thoughts on that?
But that comment that he made, few hugs short of a happy childhood, I died. That was one of the funniest things I've heard in a long time.
All right, so EC3 obviously being Dixie Carter's nephew, he can kind of do what he wants, right? So he's like, I want to mess with the sound room and the cameras and stuff. So he's in the background. It was kind of cool because like I know Casey, you said a lot about you'd like to see more of the backstage and more of the it seems like you always get that one plain spot backstage. You never really get any in-depth looks. So this was kind of cool to see EC3 get a little time with the sound room or whatever. He's like, get the camera on Jeremy Borash. He's like, JB, I'm buzzing you. Get it? Because I cut your hair. Trolling JB as, EC3 does. And he's like, you know what? I'm a Carter. I get to see everything, basically. He says, Jeremy, you get your head shaved. You think you're Heisenberg. Because I got a challenge for you. JB versus EC3. He says you got 30 minutes to make a decision, and if you don't, who knows what's going to happen. So EC3, trolling a little bit and getting his message across in a place where you don't really see people get their message across in the sound room. So that was kind of cool. So what was your thoughts on EC3 the troll?
I just liked seeing, like you said, the other parts of backstage. I like that EC3 is just walking around doing his own thing with Tyrus Brodus in tow. And he playing around a bit. I like EC3 too. I love when he gets on the mic and just imagining. I really wanted to see some weird camera cuts in the next match, just because EC3 is playing around the camera room. I wanted some continuation of that story. But yeah, I liked it. It was good.
All right, Casey. Any thoughts on EC3 ever getting back in the ring?
That would be pretty funny if so there was a camera cut or music hit or something, or like the lights. That would have been funny. But first of all, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of Brodus Clay, Tyrus fans, but I still can't take him seriously. He is a dancing dinosaur. That's it. That's all he's ever gonna be. Um, but I like this. It reminded me of like DX, Triple H, and HBK. They would do stuff like this all the time. And you don't see that anymore.
They're the best tag team ever. Shawn my boy. Man.
All right, so after that we get obviously EC3 changes the camera to let us know Lashley's here. EC3 messing with the sound room and stuff like that. Lashley, he was there. He's made his way. The champ, the champ is back. So after that we get EY versus Bobby Roode in a no disqualification match, which is in layman's terms a chairs match. From what I've been hearing. So at least it's like that in WWE. I'm not sure about TNA. It's kind of weird how they do that. So we got no disqualification. EY versus Bobby Roode. Casey, you want to take this match?
I somehow missed this match, so
Oh.
no, I don't.
Why did you miss this one and not wait until the beautiful people showed up to miss a match?
I'm sorry.
Oh, all right. So
Because the bromans wear bright colors and it distracts me.
Oh no, there are several good reasons to watch that knockouts match, and we'll get to that when it happens.
all right. All right. So we got but right now, let's just focus on EY and Bobby Roode. Okay. All right. So we got EY taking the fight to Roode early, but Roode, he don't care. He's not having that. EY and Roode, they fight in the crowd, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool to see, them fight in the crowd a little bit. We get a split screen with Lashley, and they're like, "What's your thoughts, Lashley?" EY takes control, and obviously Lashley's not going to answer. EY takes control. He grabs a chair. He grabbed a chair, and then I guess he couldn't find another chair, so he crawled almost all the way under the ring to get a second chair. I thought that was cool of EY to do. Roode, looking for a Roode bomb on the chair, but EY does not care because he's a heel now, so he gets the eye rake. No eyes for you, Bobby Roode. EY throws Roode into the chair that's in the corner. EY hits the pile driver on the chair for the win. And I'll get to MVP coming out in a second. So, Ryan, what was your thoughts on this?
This match showed a little bit more of EY being crazy, new heel EY, and I liked that. And when he crawled under the ring, I was expecting something else. I was expecting him to bring like a table or something other than some random one chair. But I also wanted him to get under there and just start punching up from the bottom. Because that's something crazy EY would do. He pulled up two chairs and threw them both in the ring, and I was like, we're obviously going to get a chair payoff here. And we didn't get one for a long time. He set up a chair against the turnbuckle, and he had one laying on the ground. And I was like, dude, do something with that chair on the turnbuckle. And then he did. And I was like, yes, payoff.
This was weird because it was kind of short, I felt like. For an EY Roode match, like, it was a little short. And I don't know if that's just similar to what NXT did with Baron Corbin and Bull Dempsey, just to kind of make it, continue the feud. I think that's kind of what they were going for here. But it was short and it was weird because EY just felt like he just dominated. Like, after that first onslaught from Roode, like, EY just dominated. Like, he hit that pile driver on that chair pretty much immediately. What were your thoughts on my thoughts of this match, Casey?
Well, I after you said it, I remember seeing it. I don't know why I didn't write any notes on it, but I feel like they do this a lot with like faces. They, in the feud, the beginning of the feud, they get beat down a lot, to the point where they have to come against the odds. So I wasn't surprised that EY kind of took control of this.
Oh, sorry.
I hate you. Listen, the Colts loss, was that not enough? Was that not enough pain?
Okay. All right. I'm gonna read you a tweet, and you're gonna tell me who it's from. It says, "This was a great season. We accomplished more than most thought. Won our division, beat one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time on the road." Who gave that tweet?
I'm done.
Alright. Alright, I just wanted to do that because, like, I feel like you would have done that if I would have said that. You would have been like Cena, and then started a Cena rant. So I felt like it had to sneak it in there. Um,
I mean, do you want more Cena rants? Because I could go on Cena rants.
I
I
I
mean,
know.
he's from Boston, or he's from Massachusetts, and the New England Patriots just. It's a conspiracy. It is a conspiracy.
Cena was Tom Brady tonight. That's what it was.
Yes.
All right. Were you done with your thoughts on
Yeah.
that?
You
I
ruined
think
my
you probably just forgot what your thoughts were after I did that.
thought. No, I think I was done.
All right. So MVP says, "I'm really sorry. You got to go to the hospital." He says, "But we're gonna have this celebration for the champ tonight. The champ being obviously Bobby Lashley." Any thoughts on that ending little piece there, Ryan? Nothing really. All right. Casey, any thoughts on that? Small.
I didn't think he got beat down that much to go to the hospital. I mean, I don't know, but okay, I guess. MVP is apparently a doctor.
I think they way oversold that the drop on the chair. It was a chair drop, but they sold it like he broke his neck or something.
Yeah.
Like it was.
I mean, dude. I mean, he did bounce like Bobby Lashley when he gets hit with a head move. So I don't know.
Also,
Yeah, but Bobby Lashley's head is a ball. It just bounces anyway.
when EY got that pin, he went crazy. Like not like physically, but like you see in his eyes, he's like, he got the crazy eyes.
All right, so we get a Austin Aries promo. He says, "I know it's gonna be a battle tonight for this title, and survival. He's talking about survival. That's what you got to do." He's like, "You back me into a corner, and I get really dangerous." Obviously, talking to the BDC because they're taking over or trying to, and obviously because he's facing Low Key in a title rematch tonight. So, yeah, basically, Low Key's a part of the BDC, so he's gotta shout out to him. What I say? Oh, yeah, I got you. Any thoughts on the Aries promo?
No, it wasn't really anything.
All right, Casey, anything? Nothing.
It was an Aries promo.
Just look out for the BDC because they coming.
Yeah,
coming. All right, so we got a Brooke interview. Shout out to Brooke Tessmacher. She's back. She said I carried us in the Amazing Race. Obviously talking about her and Robbie E. She said I'm gonna let my actions speak for me, though. So, I take it you don't have any thoughts on Brooke Tessmacher as well. Maybe Brooke Tessmacher, but the actual interview is the portion I'm talking. Nothing.
I didn't know she was talking. I was just like, I was like, can you turn around? We want to see the good part.
Damn.
All right, so Brooke Tessmacher's back though, so we got to be excited.
The girl got a booty. Okay.
I didn't say she's got back. She's back. Okay, she's back in a match.
Got back.
She's in a match with Taryn Terrell, but not against each other, with each other. So, we got a tag team match: Brooke Tessmacher and Taryn Terrell versus Ryan's personal favorite team. He's banking for them to win the tag team titles this year. The Beautiful People. So, my first note was Ryan rolls eyes and goes to make sandwich because the beautiful people were coming out. It wasn't even before that. Like, it was when Terrence Terrell was coming out, and he knew the beautiful people were in the match. He rolled his eyes. I looked over. He rolled his eyes, gets up, and just leaves. So I was like, all right, he's not into this match. So Brooke goes after Robbie E, but she gets clotheslined by Angelina Love. Brooke takes control though, because Brooke's back, and she's got to take that control. Taryn Terrell comes in. She does her thing with the hot tag and such. She crossbodies everybody because that's just how Taryn Terrell is. Brooke gets distracted by Robbie E. Velvet with the roll up, and she had a little bit more the Tyson Sasha Banks had during her win back in the day. A little bit more, just a little bit. And she wins with the dirty roll up. DJZ had a selfie stick. That's all I gotta say. Awesome Kong shows up, beats down the beautiful people. Ryan was very upset, I would think. Hits an implant buster on Angelina Love, which was like not even a buster. It was just a throw. She didn't care about Angelina Love. And then DJZ gets in there. Obviously he wanted to take a selfie with Awesome Kong. She's awesome. And he gets chokeslammed for his money. So there's the royal burial of DJZ. So, Ryan, any thoughts on what your personal match of the night? Because of the beautiful people and not.
I have written down, Brooke can wrestle every single Divas match, so can Taryn Terrell. That is my opinion on that. Yeah, I liked Taryn diving crossbodies and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't like the beautiful people. And I feel like I should try to watch their matches more intently, but I just can't. I have such a problem with Angelina Love's face. I just can't take it. It's so bad. It's so bad. But yeah, Awesome Kong drops the best slam ever, I said, and chokeslams DJZ, which is great.
All right. What about the belt? We talked about the belt last week. So what about the new belt? Did you notice the new Knockouts Championship? It's not even a white strap anymore. You're supposed to be like, oh my God, it's a new belt. He didn't look. He was too busy. Anyway, Casey, any thoughts on this?
I don't like the new belt. I don't like it at all. Does anyone else remember when they used to have Knockouts Tag Team Championships?
I love that. But they don't have enough knockouts to do that, I don't think.
Yeah.
They have
well, I mean, EY was part of the team at one point. So, that's what they could have done with Shark Boy. This... What?
Put Dixie Carter in tag team.
Yeah! This...
No.
This was really more of like a story of the breakup of Robbie E. and Brooke, which doesn't really make any sense if you didn't watch The Amazing Race. Like, if you didn't watch The Amazing Race, you have no idea what any of they're talking about. So it just felt like a pointless match. But after the match, when the lights go out and they come back on, and Awesome Kong's standing behind Angelina and Velvet. Apparently the Bromans and DJZ were really big cowards because they were already out of the ring. They didn't stay to protect the ladies. Oh no. No.
Casey, honestly, would you step to Awesome Kong to protect Angelina Love or Velvet's guy? I wouldn't. I'd be like, these bitches, I'm out.
Listen, if I could possibly play that night, maybe. Maybe.
That happened last night, right?
Well, more so Velvet, because I feel like Angelina, he might catch something. But,
yeah.
All right, so Brooke Tessmacher's back. That's the main thing there. Woo! So I'm happy.
This didn't make sense though, because I thought we were gonna get an Awesome Kong versus Havoc feud, which we eventually did get, but it didn't make sense that she attacked the beautiful people.
She just attacks everybody. It's like Havoc. Havoc just attacked everybody when she first got in. So it's the battle of who can attack everybody else.
Yeah. And I liked how security had to come out and separate Awesome Kong and Havoc. You don't really see that as much with the women. I
Yeah,
mean, you do, but not to the extent that it was. Like, it was really extreme. But that was cool.
yeah, I liked it. So we get a little backstage segment with EC3 looking for JB. EC3 says, "TikTok goes to decision clock. Are we having a match next week? Nobody respects you." And, and Jeremy, why should they? And when EC3 said nobody respects you, Jeremy was just thinking, yeah, they do. I'm the face of this company, bro. But JB says, you want to fight? I'll fight you. So Jeremy getting intense for like 3 seconds. He said, so we're gonna have a EC3 JB match. Why? I don't know. EC3 needs to just be the world champion by now. But anyway, hardcore American. So he's gonna be the hardcore American announcer icon next, right?
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready. That's what they're building towards. Anyway,
Yes, it is prediction time with Ryan. Here's what's gonna happen. Match next week. They're gonna go in, and Jeremy and EC3 are gonna have it out. EC3 is going to totally destroy him, but then Spud, my boy, is gonna come in, take out EC3, pin his ass, not gonna break the streak because he's gonna be disqualified, and then EC3 Spud feud, which eventually, when it ends, will end EC3's undefeated streak.
all right.
That's what will happen.
Bold prediction with Ryan. I think that's very bold. I could see EC3. I mean, Spud. I couldn't see him breaking it. I could see him maybe getting close, but I think they're protecting EC3 until he gets the title, the world title, basically. They're building him a lot, especially as a heel. Casey, any thoughts? I know you had thoughts on the match, obviously.
Useless match next week. It's going to be the bathroom break because there's no point in having this match. I don't understand it. I feel like wrestling companies do this when they have no other ideas. They just like, let's throw an announcer in there that has no wrestling experience whatsoever. Like the least they could have done is like put Josh Matthews in a match because he was at least like on Tough Enough, the original Tough Enough. So like he has some sort of wrestling experience. JB has none at all.
Yeah, I think they use it a lot of times to like as a troll for heels, like to
Yeah.
make the heel seem more of a heel, and it gets the crowd behind the person they're going against. Because if you think about it, obviously that person is like defenseless at that point.
But it just ends up being a crappy match. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I am gonna be really mad though if for some reason JB wins this, because that would be the dumbest way to end this streak, I think.
I didn't consider that as a possibility.
Well, it happens sometimes. I feel like more than anything, like the underdog guy that never fights is the one that wins these matches. And if EC3 loses because of that, like it's gonna be really stupid. So next we got the Revolution. I think they were like in some kind of weird area backstage. It was kind of dark. Oh, it may have been. I can't remember. It was a little dark though. Manic tells the cameraman to come here. He's grabbing some cameramen. They go into this room, and James Storm says, "It's time for the world to be introduced to my newest disciple, Koya. Koya is from India, and Koya means lost. He has found me. He has found the revolution. Next week, the power, speed will be unleashed on Impact Wrestling." So there we go. And then we get a little thing. Actually, I'll talk about that because there's two things on it. So what do you think about the Revolution promo, Ryan? Anything? Are you excited for Koya? I guess that's.
I mean, sure. I want the Revolution to just start doing something rather than just recruiting at this point, because I don't think they've really done much other than whatever they did with. Well, yeah, but nothing else. They
That's not important or anything. Come on.
Don't laugh at me. They can have the championship. I just feel like they're just waiting, and they're building up their roster, and then they need to get all the races in first. Obviously, you got to get all the different nationalities. So they have to find themselves like a Hawaiian dude, and gotta get all these races together so he can finally have his rainbow that he's looking for. Honestly, at this point, James Storm is like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, just adopting orphans from other countries. But yeah, I'm excited for a new wrestler to pop his head in. Maybe he'll be in Feast or Fire.
I heard that, and I heard this from Bruce Blitz. He said something about he's like the equivalent to Rusev. Like that's like his ceiling. His ceiling is Rusev status, which I like Rusev. I actually love Rusev, but I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or no. Casey, what's your thoughts?
Um, I don't like the name just because Koya makes me think of Sequoia. So now
No. It's just because it gives you an excuse to not call him Jinder Mahal now.
No, it's either going to be Jinder Mahal or Tree. Those are going to be his two names, Tree or Jinder Mahal.
What is tree, Casey?
A sequoia
Oh, okay.
is a tree, and it reminds me of Sequoia. So he's going to be either the tree or Jinder Mahal.
Are you excited about his debut? I mean, it's been like a kind of a long time coming. He was in the Brawl last week. You didn't catch that, but
I feel like it's been so long since he first debuted in that little when they were at that table and where they found him or whatever. It just seems like it's been forever and they haven't done anything yet. Like they won the tag team titles, yeah, but to what Ryan was saying, they just haven't done anything. It's kind of getting. They have to start doing something quick, or it's just gonna get boring and not. Gonna.
I don't. My only thing is I don't know what they're gonna do because unless they're setting up because you do have Lockdown coming up, which Lockdown was the last taping in this set of tapings. Unless they're setting up Lethal Lockdown with them, but I don't think they can build that fast if they haven't even started yet. So I don't know what they're doing either.
More predictions. Don't laugh at me. My prediction. Revolution has the tag titles, and Beatdown Clan wants the titles, but I think that the Revolution is going to be the only people who are going to keep the BDC from the title, and it's going to erupt in this whole thing, and then the faces of the company are like, we got to side with the Revolution in order to put down the BDC, and there's going to be a whole, like the Brawl was, it's going to be faces versus heels, all of them at the same time. That's my prediction.
Well, it's weird because they're both heel factions, so I don't know where they're going to go with that. I guess we'll see. We'll see. So we got Feast or Fire next week, and then we get a video package on Feast or Fire. I guess you guys don't have any thoughts on that because we just talked about Feast or Fire not too long ago. Bram went taking all the cases.
Bram versus the cases.
Alright, so next we got the main event, which was the X Division title match, which was kind of cool to see in the main event match slot of the show, see the X Division be showcased. This is one I don't understand, but okay. Low Key versus Austin Aries for the X Division Championship. It was back and forth to start out. An awkward fall by Low Key when he fell outside of the ring. Low Key regains control though, but he gets stopped by the crossbody of Austin Aries. Aries gets hung up on the top rope. Aries with some just ridiculously stiff chops to Low Key. Aries with the discus forearm and the hesitation corner dropkick. Nice combination there. Last chancery. Low Key he taps, but the ref couldn't see it because the BDC is out there, interrupting. Aries with the nice torpedo dive on the family. And low key, I can't remember exactly. I know it was a nice transition, but I can't remember exactly how he did it. But he caught Aries with the key crusher for the win. So low key is the X Division champion again. Just lost the title last week. Why? Why did he lose the title last week? If you're just gonna give it back to him this week, um, I don't know.
I liked the BDC being all around the ring, kind of like a floor is made of lava thing. Aries does not want to be out of the ring in this match at all, or he's in a lot of trouble. You say you didn't know how they transitioned into Loki winning. I think it was Aries did get knocked out of the ring, and he went out and he took down most of the BDC. Then he goes for a top rope jump onto Loki. He gets pulled down by King, which puts him right in Loki's hands. That's what happened. Oh yeah, during this match, Taz calls out the Wu-Tang Clan. He likes the Wu-Tang Clan. um, but yeah, I like that the BDC was down there, even if they weren't being as aggressive as they usually are in matches. They were there and they had a presence, and I like that they're doing that. They're getting that thug mentality out. That's just like, we're here and we're scary. You don't want to mess with us. And yeah, I think they're doing their job of being scary heel thug life people pretty well.
I'm waiting for them to start doing gang signs.
Oh my god. It doesn't help that they're called the Clan, by the way. That's why UI can't be in it.
All right, Casey, any thoughts on the main event?
Well, first of all, Loki comes out in all yellow, looking like a big old bottle of mustard. Am I the only one who saw that? And I was like, why? That was a horrible idea. But you guys went through the whole match pretty much. But as usual, the only guys that get the X Division title anymore are Aries, Loki, and Joe. Like, who else gets the title? Nobody. So they need to.
So I guess Ryan said Sonata did.
Yeah, but that didn't count. Whatever.
What? That definitely counted. That was probably the greatest
Oh,
run in X Division title history. The
it,
Great Sonata.
no. No.
Come on, dude. He had freaking match of the year with Austin Aries. Come on.
No.
Come on, man. Match of the year last year. Come on.
No. Okay, well, yeah, he did, but it seems like usually the only guys who get it are Aries, Loki, and Joe. Like, those are the main guys that. It's rare that anyone else really gets it, which is.
Where's that Tigre Uno run? Where's it at? I'm looking for it.
Where is Tigre Uno?
Who knows?
It's about to be the Revolution. They don't have a Hispaniard yet.
A Spaniard yet?
All right. All right. On that note, let's go to the Beatdown Clan, another faction. So we got the Beatdown Clan. They're gonna have this nice celebration for Lashley. Casey, you want to go over this promo? Cause my mouth is getting tired with all of this Beatdown Clan promo work.
I didn't really write too much about the promo, but I wrote down when they finally like attacked him, which we knew was coming. It just looks so awkward because like he doesn't know, he didn't sell it well. It just looked weird. Like it didn't look like a normal beatdown.
Like, why didn't they get weapons? Why can't you do a beatdown anymore without, like, you should get some weapons during this beatdown. I feel like.
Yeah.
Especially because from what I'm hearing, Lashley's contract is coming up, and I think he wants to do MMA full time.
Oh,
So,
feast or fired. Feast or fired.
Oh man.
That would suck.
Oh man. Oh man. The Dixie Carter game. Dude, that's probably it.
But yeah, they steal the title. You know, because we've never seen that in wrestling before. We've never seen anyone steal a title. That's so revolutionary. So, and they're probably gonna bring another title, and you know they're gonna have to decide who's the real champion. It's just, I can see it. Predictions with Casey.
All right, so
Because we've never seen anything like that before on a wrestling podcast. Predictions. Be the
yeah.
TNA to my SmackDown.
All right, so that's it. I apologize for my mouth getting all weird. I don't know what happened during this. There was a lot of like long talking segments. It felt like, and there were backstage segments. There were like only like 4 matches tonight or something. Bob,
Yeah.
it felt a little slower match wise. Like
It was 5 and they're really quick matches.
yeah, except for the Wolves one. The Wolves one was what wasn't. I'm excited. We'll come back with our tag teams next week. Um, and hopefully we'll have Ryan on again because you know he's here, so that'll be good.
He comes back.
I, we're gonna try to watch it on Friday, but it's kind of tough not having the channel. But we're gonna try anyway, and we're gonna put our heart and soul into trying. So if you need to subscribe, that would be a good thing. So feel free to subscribe, and you know we'll keep you updated on any content coming. Royal Rumble's coming up next Sunday. So I may have a special guest for Royal Rumble. I think that's the plan. Special guest. Special guest. May have a special guest. So that'll be good. Maybe. And I said may because every special guest I try to have, they don't show up for me. So it's okay. So feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed the show. Ryan, any closing remarks?
Nope.
At Bawadabu on Twitter for those of you who didn't.
Can't see
You
that.
can kind of see it.
We can't. Oh, well, kind of now. Yeah. It's Bawadabu.
All right, Casey. Thoughts?
First of all, I'm gonna have to get used to the new format with like the split screens and everything. It was weird. Not bad, but weird. We have a couple other videos coming up. Like you said, we have the Royal Rumble coming up. Did you said you do get the CW where you are?
I don't. I looked earlier and I didn't see it, but I may have to look again.
Okay, well, if you get the or if that website, I should say, has the last week's or this week's Ring of Honor up there uploaded, we can do. I wrote up the review for that, so we could do the review for that possibly. So we may have Ring of Honor reviews because that was a good show. But follow me on Twitter. It's over there. It's right there. It's right there. So go follow me, and we'll talk about all lovely things like TNA and puppies and kittens and fluffy things and the death of John Cena. What?
That wasn't as positive as you know. But speaking of not positive, the Colts. It's a sad day, but if you want to, go make fun of Casey for his Colts losing to the Patriots. You know, I got a lot of rubbing in last week, so I deserve a little bit of a reprieve.
I understand where he's coming from.
But you know, this is less about the Colts and more about TNA. I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, I'm gonna try to not get numb mouth next week and try to, you know, actually make it through the review. I apologize, but I don't know what's going on. My mouth is like kind of numb. But talk to you guys later. Love you guys.